Welcome back, Steve Daybreak, Africa, from our studios here in Ondo City. This morning, we shall be talking on hunger protest, call for patience with Tinubus reform and its analysis. As I was saying earlier with Anire seated here next to me, we were talking about people's demand so far. Now, before the protest, many felt as a president he should have done better by coming out, speaking to his people and trying as much as possible to calm the protest. And probably they may never have been a protest in the first place. Now, many believe, okay, that is that, and the protest began, and his speech came with lots of critics. Many Nigerians believe that speech tended not to capture the current situation, but more like he was bragging about his accomplishment and what he has done for the last 13 or 14 months whilst in power, and he never really mentioned the pain of the people. Well, we have a guest in the house, an economist, person of Felix, Ijeh, as we discuss the hunger protests, the speech from the president, amongst other issues this morning. Welcome on Daybreak Africa, Felix.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before the protest, we had you right here seated while we took a look at the looming, the forthcoming, which we are experiencing right now because it has become our reality. Before then, we actually thought that it's going to be one of those sayings in our history that will never happen.
To be or not to be.
To be or not to be, but we were hopeful it wouldn't happen. But unfortunately, from the statistics that we've gotten, not only did it happen, but lives have been lost in the course of this protest, that we're experiencing right now. For one who was here before the protest started, and one whom is alive by the grace of God to see it happen. Before we delve into the discourse proper, I would want your overview of the protests from day one till now. What's your take?
The last time we discussed, the way it was presented, who knows whether it will come up? Is it one of those things that people think government is overrating it, trying to just jump in, trying to prevent what is not going to happen. But that day I told us that you can't be so sure. Somebody that is hungry, even if you ask him not to come out, he will definitely come out because you can't stop him. I think the protest is just to communicate to those at the helm of affairs, the president and all the executives, the legislatures, all of them together, to communicate to them that everybody, Nigerians, are hungry. That does not mean that the president does not know at all, but because he has not, because those protesting felt that he did not do enough to at least ameliorate the situation after the initial announcement of the removal of the fuel subsidy. So that is why people just have to come out to express their anger, express their feeling. But in an economy like Nigeria, in a nation like Nigeria where we have a lot of youth, so some youthful exuberance is expected, a lot of distractions may come in, and apart from that, in an economy where we have a high level of insecurity, it's expected that there will be a lot of people that will gang up to use the opportunity to unleash mayhem or to express their feeling too. So you see different people coming to the streets. Some people know why they're on the street, while some don't know why they're on the street. People have different motives why they're on the street. You notice that different states have it in different forms. There are some states that people troop out, they get themselves organized, like Lagos State. They gather at Ganifa Emi Square there. Then the security apparatus, they actually tried. I think I give it to Nigerian security, how they organize themselves within this period. They were able to monitor for the, let me not say for the first time, this period, the police, they were actually very civil. They tried. Then you talk of the north. There we have a lot of youth. There we have a lot of insecurity problems. So trooping out and having some pockets of distractions, having some pockets of looting, which normally happen. At this particular time, everybody that come out to say it's the government that is not treating us well. Anything they see government, then they will try to attack. That is part of the orientation, the mentality we have. We kind of detach ourselves from government. We feel that government is different from the people. Therefore, whatever that is done by the government is not our own, it belongs to government. But whatever that is done by government within our environment is supposed to be ours. I think that is what informed the reason why they even went as far as breaking and looting the communication center in Kano, which was a very big blow to the nation, because to set up such is not child's play. So it has happened, and again over there in the north we also have a lot of places touched, including Port Harcourt, the protests in Port Harcourt. I don't think there is any state that is actually exempted. No state is exempted. Everybody, wherever people are a kind of disturbed with hunger, they would like to show up. And you can see expressions from people. They actually say their mind. Though you have in some cases where a kind of organized activities, some coming to protest, some protesting against protest. It's expected because people have different interests. Some don't even know, to the extent that some don't even know why they send them out to come and protest. Instead of protesting they are protesting against themselves. So, but the major thing is that this communication has taken place. To me, let me just say this way. I expect that, like I mentioned last time, that our communication arrangement in Nigeria is supposed to be better than this, because many protesters that came out, they seem not to know the impact of government. They don't know anything government is doing. I think that is why they came out to protest. And government gradually now is unfolding what government is doing, what they've been planning, but we did not know about it till now. So until our president came out to address the nation. To me, the address to the nation is, it came a bit late, but it's better late than never. But a lot of people are still feeling, including myself, that the tone, the voice did not show a kind of, let me not say remorse, a kind of empathy. The empathy is not enough. The empathy is not enough. The way he expressed it, he expressed that he has done a lot, he has prepared a lot of ground, but he's supposed to be at the other side as if he's the one affected. When he was leading protests, his countenance was not like this. Now, he's the one they are addressing. His countenance, he should be, once an Aluta person should be an Aluta person. He should understand it and know how the people feel.
You talked about his plans, and you said you never knew they had sort plans going on the ground. I think maybe the reason you never noticed those plans was because it never really had an effect per se. Now we know for a fact this government is one good with policies, making policies, but I believe, and you said some time ago, they really lack the ability to implement those policies, impose and make them work. So coming out to tell us you plan this, you plan that, and you plan billions and here or there, and without us seeing the effect. What we want to see is the effect, and not really the bogus memos or writings or words. So if you're not getting the effect, how would you believe there was something in the pipeline?
Okay, every time I come here, I continue to talk of speculation and the impact of speculation on Nigerian economy and the people. So we tend to think this may be happening or this is not happening. But when we have enough information, though the effect in an economy, there is what is called a lag period. There could be a period where an idea is conceived, then when it is implemented and when it starts yielding results. There are some we call short-term results. There are some long-term results. What is affecting us now has likely is going to have a long-term and medium-term impact. Then short-term cushioning effect that is being applied. Assuming we know what I'm talking of now. If you are told that the president has earmarked so and so amount to help this area, and they tell you that this is the person that is going to handle it, then you'll be expecting it from that person. You won't be expecting it from the president. Just like within this period, we've been told that a lot of money has been pushed to the state government. But very many of us protesting, we are talking of federal government.
Actually, we are coming to that.
So
we're coming to that in a moment.
What I'm actually saying is that if there are some people have actually fed the palliatives, but some the corrupt tendency have actually removed it from some people that are supposed to actually have it direct. So those that are supposed to have it direct did not have it because it was not properly communicated. Those ones expecting it did not get it because it was not properly communicated. So I expect that we are supposed to have done more.
Ezekiel, just before you drop your idea, we're talking about the achievements of the president, notable achievements. Some of these which was listed. I was able to get my hands on some of it. Removal of fuel subsidies and termination of multiple foreign exchange systems. This, Tinubus said, has constituted a noose around the economic jugular of our nation and impeded our economic development and progress. The president also says that increased government revenues aggregate, which has doubled, increasing by over 9.1 trillion naira in the first half of 2024 compared to the first half of 2023. Ongoing major infrastructure projects. This includes roads, bridges, railways, power and oil, and gas developments, notably the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and Sokoto-Badagry Highway. Others include increased oil production. Oil production has increased to 1.61 million barrels per day, and two foreign direct investments of over $500 million US, which have been signed. Compressed natural gas initiative, student loan scheme approved, which has been approved, talking about 95.6 billion naira to Nigerian students through the student loan scheme. So this has some of his achievement, things that the president has done, like what Ezekiel said, and also concurring with what you said. The man on the street does not have the statistics, like you said again, because he doesn't feel them. He doesn't see them. So, like Ezekiel also added, that it should go beyond memos on like what I've just read now to being seen physically. That is where the problem is, isn't it?
Okay, let me just come in there now. Like the president came up, he read out those things as achievements. The people don't see it as achievement because it did not impart on the people. So when there is an action that is taken, like first of all, let's talk of fuel subsidy removal. It's an achievement that he has succeeded in removing the fuel subsidy, which has been a problem for others to remove. He is succeeded in removing it. But at the end, when he removed it, where did he keep it? Those ones enjoying the subsidy, the tax impact on us, on the people, how did he address it? There was supposed to be arrangement before removal. So while he sees it as achievement, others see it as punishment. That is one. Assuming he's able to communicate properly what this is for, how it will be handled, and is applied appropriately, then it will become an achievement in the real sense. Then you talk of roads. Let me that particular the coastal road from Lagos to Calabar
and Sokoto Badagry Highway.
This one will remain for the next 20 to 15 years. They will use it for political campaigns. He started it. The next one will use it. It has been like that. Though he can just kickstart it, but it's not a project he can finish within a very short time. So I don't see it as a project, as an achievement that you lay foundation. You say it's an achievement. He just laid the foundation for that. He will not be able to complete it until he leave office. It's not possible because we've been seeing such in the past. Then again, a student loan scheme. Those ones are cash transfers and palliative. It's not only students loan scheme, even to artisans, to credit scheme for workers, very many of them. But what I'm saying, talking of communication and the plan, is that it is now that people are getting to know. But before, they've made arrangement for such, and it was not properly communicated. Eventually, people have started fighting that this thing is supposed to be, but it's now that they are informing the people. I made mention of it. Do we still have National Orientation Agency? Do we still have the Minister for Communication? Do we still have such? If we have, that means they are not doing enough. the people are not feeling them. You know, when you tell, when we were very young then, once Christmas is approaching, your parents will tell you, I'm going to market to buy clothes. You start having the feeling that, yes, something is coming. By the time they buy it, you see it that is there in the box. Not Christmas Day yet. Before Christmas, you're already feeling that you're having something. So you will not attack your parents. You will say that they didn't do anything. What of a situation where your parents never said anything, but they went to market, buy it, and put it in the box, waiting to bring it out on Christmas Day? Before that day, you can even go to somebody else's house, start looking at them preparing, and start lamenting. Those are a lot of things that we are passing through at this particular time. We need communication from the center, and we need them to do more. As at now, the reason why everybody trooped out is hunger. How do we fight hunger? From all those things that is read, what are those direct things that we can use to fight hunger? The ones that should go direct, like the opening up of border, not totally opening up, but removing custom and excise duties on food products that are coming in. He has announced, the custom controller has also announced, that is true, but they said they are putting measures in place to tidy up so that they will not stifle our local production. So he has announced, but they are yet to start implementing it. But by the time they start implementing, I think it will be good. Since we are not producing enough, we should have, even from outside, with control, so that food price will come down. Removal of subsidy on petroleum, I think that's the major thing that everybody enjoyed till they removed it. When it was removed, it means they removed certain percentage of our income. Then subsidy should be reintroduced in form of food. Recently, we heard that they are making arrangement to sell a bag of rice for 40,000 naira or 50,000 naira.
40,000.
To workers. The reason why they want to do that is that they have proper documentation and data so that they'll be able to monitor. But the question is, have they started it? They've just announced, they've not started. But they are supposed to. The question, when they were asked why they've not started, what they come up with was that for those food items to come in, it takes time, but they've ordered. So if this information is on ground, before now, they are supposed to say, okay, you go to your local government, go and start registration, go and start documentation. When you are doing documentation, you won't go out to start protesting.
Now, Felix, the president spoke about incentives to farmers and removing tariffs and other import duties on some food commodities, which includes legume and rice, wheat, amongst other, and pharmaceutical medical supplies for the next 6 months to help drive down the price.
I think they said
at the same time,
150 days. I don't think it's up to 6 months.
6 months, 150 days. Now, the president acknowledged the legitimacy of the protesters' grievances. Now, why not we do a little bit of analysis at this point? They came out saying the protest is tagged "End Bad Governance" in Nigeria. That was more like the theme of the protest.
Okay.
But the truth is, if you want to end bad governance, nobody attacked Aso Rock. Nobody attacked their state government houses. Nobody attacked the House of Rep. The whole structure. Nobody attacked their senators.
State government.
Nobody attacked the chairman of their local government. What they did was run straight to the market. I think it was not Katsina now. They had to even employ security personnel to help guard their food. This alone speaks volumes. In essence, we come to see end bad governance. But what we are saying in essence, or what the people are saying in essence, is we are hungry. The people we elected are not really
hunger. That is what they are saying.
That's exactly what they are saying.
Stop hunger.
If not, I was thinking about it. Why would you say end bad governance? But the first thing we do is run straight to the market, run straight to the biscuit store, run straight to the beans store. Or what we do is pick rice, one mudu, pick beans, one bag, and then we are running back home and saying end bad. It simply means the people are hungry. Which brings me to the entire script the president tended to read. Maybe I didn't listen enough, but I never saw where he tried to attack the issue of hunger.
Yes.
Of course, he made mention of trying to beat down price, and then I saw 6 months, but it's telling me 150 days. So it's not even something we could hold on to for a long time. It's more like let's have something to do with now. And even the the indices trying to put in place now is not, sorry to say this, but I don't think it's working, because if it was working, we wouldn't have been at this point. So allow me ask this question respectfully at this point. Is the president, does he really understand what the people are going through at this point? Or is it more like, should I use Anire's word, sitting on a high horse and looking down at peasants?
You see the same thing that he has moved to the other side. He was leading the protest. Now he's at the other side looking at people protesting. For me, I won't say that he's not aware of what is happening.
He's like, aware, but does he feel that pain, knowing I feel this pain with you? I know what you're going through as my people, or as my children, as the context.
Does he know that 3 fingers of okra is now 200 naira and 6 fingers of okra is 500?
If I tend to watch video clips, I see men at 70 years, women 85 years running down to the market just to steal what? A cup of rice, and they run back home. I mean, if you really, I don't want a situation where we're all aware of the situation in Nigeria, but are you feeling it? Because, Anira, if you feel it, you know how it, I don't know if I'm trying to make sense. I'm being emotional at this point.
Like I explained about our president's speech, I said he was not empathic. He was not empathic. He did not put himself in the shoes of the masses. I believe the type of person he is, he's supposed to know what is happening. But the thing is that the measures he's trying to put in place, thinking that it's going to work in the short run, it's not working. The ideas is coming up, thinking that it will work, is not working. Maybe those ideas worked when he was in Lagos as governor, but Lagos is not Nigeria. So the approach is not working for the entire Nigeria because of the nature of the country. But in all, we expect him to do actually better. And all these measures, he's supposed to have started it. Immediately he entered, immediately he pronounced removal of subsidy. Or he's supposed to have planned down this so that as he's mentioning that, then he will continue. I think I watched a lot of videos when he was campaigning. He told us he has plans. He had a lot of plans. He wanted to the extent that there was a day they were, I think during a presidential debate or so, they asked him, what is your plan? He said, he don't want to say so that people will not steal it. But that means those ideas he was having in mind, if those are the ones he's rolling out, some of them are not working. That means they have to go back to the drawing board in order to re-strategize. And the ones that they are in place, they have to make sure that they watch it properly so that the people will feel it. Everybody in Nigeria is suffering hunger. There is no rich man again. We have only the very poor and the poor. The rich, if you say you are rich, that is exactly what is happening. If you say you are rich and a lot of people following you, the poor ones following you are too many to overpower you. You are not rich. That is the reason why a lot of them are taking their funds away from Nigeria. They will not keep it in Nigeria because people that need it are so many. Have you seen where people protest against Dangote easily? They don't, because he's productive. Even if he's selling at very high cost, people are saying that at least he's making attempts, he's doing good things. But there are some leaders that if you see them outside, people are ready to attack them easily. Nigerians are hungry.
Now talking
just before you go to the next one, you said something, Felix. You said if only we knew what has been going on underground. He made mention of certain billions going into certain sectors. If only we knew, probably we wouldn't have come to this point. My question is, let's believe this is true. This is true. All he said, I'm not there. But all he said, no, I'm coming, Felix.
Let me give you an answer.
All he said, is true.
No, I want to give you an answer. Wait. I am from a local government area.
Okay.
I joined budget. Budget that is an application that they created. They help in watching budgets. So I have to join for my local government. I have to join for the states. So I joined the two. I start monitoring the projects in my local government as assigned. At any time, when I see that money is allocated, I write the secretary to our local government. I want to monitor what is happening there. That is information. So even when some people are saying nothing is happening in the local government, when we have meeting, even online meeting, I will tell them this is what is coming up. This is a project that is here. Please go and check. This is the person they award the project to. Those, to a large extent, you know that there is hope.
Yes.
But here we are in a state of
we need to go on a short break. When we return, Ezekiel will be asking his questions. Stay with us. Before the break, Ezekiel had a question, and I want him to continue with his line of thoughts. Ezekiel.
Yes, our guest actually said something. I'm trying to really understand the intelligence behind that understanding. Yes. Now, like I said, the president came out, he gave us a full speech, talked about all that has been going on, and you believe he probably should have said this earlier also, because you believe this speech should actually have the ability to calm situations down. Now, I was just thinking, if all this was already ongoing and he knew all that was going on, why wait until the 5th or 6th day of the protest before coming out to tell us all that has been going on? Why not, as the president, tell us this on the 31st of July or 30th of July, or this protest warning has been going on for about a month? What happened? What was the intelligence behind holding this information and then waiting until we're already storming the streets and shouting, we no go agree in context?
That is the bad governance.
That is the example.
That is the bad governance. The bad governance is that there is no communication. The bad governance is that it's like he's not feeling us. The bad governance is that he's not doing anything. So if there is anything he was doing before, he never told anybody. People are not aware. So
just a moment, Felix.
So
Anire, you would agree with me?
People are not aware, that means it's not happening.
You would agree with Anire, this president is one with more like the highest number of media aids comparable to other presidents. Definitely. So what are the media aids then doing? Is it more like he had them just to,
let's ask Ijeh, let him tell us. Felix.
When you say media aids, there is media aids with coherence and media aids without coherence. At this particular team of media aid, you will see one saying another thing, another person countering it. I don't see them as being coherent.
But are they not Nigerians? That's what we're asking.
They are Nigerians.
They live in this country. It's not like they live in mass.
Of course they live in the country. There's one thing. The president is there. What comes from the president, if it's different from what comes from the media aid, who are you going to believe? Who are you going to? You see Nigerians saying, okay, why are we waiting for the president to say something when media aides are saying one thing or the other? What have they said? If they've said the right thing, we won't be waiting for the president to come out. Sometimes you see the media aides, one of them say another thing, the other person will come, counter what the other one have said. Are they not supposed to be coherent? If we are saying our president have a lot of media aides, what is the work of the media aides? How do they pass the message to the people? Through which platform? Is it that they just go to a television station and announce? Then how do people hear about it? What are they saying? If I ask me now, who are the media aides? I don't know them. I don't know their names. But I remember that in those days, at least you'll be able to say this is the Minister for Communication, this is the special assistant.
It is printed out,
yes,
social studies.
Know their names.
You see the pictures, you see the
names.
Know their names.
And when they
you write exams and you pass because you know their names. That's how we grew up. Yes.
But now we don't know them. So if you don't know them, if a media aide is saying now, I don't know what he's talking of. I remember Obasanjo had a little challenge with that. Even when he mentioned that I have personal assistant, does not mean that I have to believe or hear whatever he want to say. That even when I have PA, I have what is in my mind. I have to discuss with them. If they say what I did not tell them to say, I will sack them. And he always said that for that reason, he came up with a monthly media briefing. And you see the president sit down, everybody, Nigerians, even phone calls, asking questions, he will answer. So whatever is in the pipeline, he will tell them, this is in the pipeline. Sorry, sometimes he can be very, very blunt. He will tell you that thing, don't say it again. It will not happen. You know that this is the stand of the president. It becomes easier. So communication is a major problem.
So with all this, like you said, with all this is a practical example of bad governance.
That is bad governance. That is a bad governance.
Now, please.
Yes.
Okay. I need to
so I just want to touch again on some key points in the speech, because the Nigerian youth, the future of this nation, They are the ones on the street chanting day in, day out. They are the ones on the street where we've recorded casualties. The president did say that, mentioned about youth empowerment programs that he has on the pipeline. Tinubus outlined several initiatives for youth, including the student loan, which we mentioned earlier. Then he also added digital and creative enterprise program and various skill development schemes. I don't know if you're aware of any of these development schemes. If you are privy to any, if any has happened in your local government, or you have any information that you will want to let our viewers, especially our target, which is the youth, to know the plan that the president has for them.
Okay, I think they have a lot of programs, especially for the ones meant for artisan. The major thing is that major population of Nigerians are youth. Most of those palliatives in place are actually targeted towards youth. If you talk of the one for students to help to pay their fees,
that's the student loan.
The student loan. Then you talk of young artisans. Then you talk of training, organizing different training. The government is spending a lot of money on that. But the concern we have is it only in Abuja?
That's the question I'm asking, because you talked about your local government, that there's this tracking system, and I appreciated the fact that you spoke about a group. So people from your local government have this group where they can actually monitor. So I'm asking, in your local government area, do you have any of this scheme from the top, from Abuja?
I don't know much from the top, but I know the one from our state governor. From the state government, they have technical groups, different groups where they train people on different activities, carpentry, mechanic, hairdressing. People go there to learn, and at the end they empower them by buying machines, buying the tools they are going to use. And I'm aware too that government mentioned that they've released funds to the state government. And
to that effect?
Yes, in most cases, when state government want to apply that, they will not mention the federal government. They will do it as if it is their own project.
Do you think that would be allowed within the law, where
are they not doing
where
it?
the local they do it? Is a norm?
They do it. They do it.
I'm just hearing that for the first time.
Do it. What I mean is, by the time the federal government come up with an initiative, I think I had one of the senators from Ondo State trying to question Ondo State that there are some funds that are supposed to send to about 2,500 persons, that a certain amount that Ondo State government, when the money was sent down, they reduced the number of persons and reduced the amount, and they repackage it as if it's from Ondo State.
Remember, we had a guest here. We were talking about farming.
Yes.
Beyond. And the information that he passed is similar to what we're hearing right now.
Recently, federal government distributed a lot of fertilizer, and they have to distribute it through state government, and nobody saw the fertilizer. The farmers, how many of them have access to it?
So we had a guest who told
actually
concur to what you're saying.
If the federal government is working and they are communicating properly, then you
won't have this problem.
Yes. So you will know who to hold responsible. So that is bad governance on their end.
Which brings me to my next question or observation. Should I use that term? Now, the president demanded an end to...
You don't ask me too much because I'm not the president.
So you are our analyst in the house, and you have been doing a good job so far.
I like that.
The president demanded an end to corruption and impunity and a new era of accountability and transparency. At that point, I wasn't sure who he was referring to. Is it us, himself, the people around him? Because we know for a fact when it comes to accountability and transparency, that topic is quite
we can talk about it for a year.
I'm not saying they're not transparent.
We can talk about it for a year on this set.
So
talk about accountability and transparency
I will push this to you, not as his media aid, of course. But
my last statement is a statement of non-accountability and very poor level of transparency. So if federal government can come up with a project, and the people that the project is supposed to affect does not know, it goes to the state government. The state government dilute it, and eventually they get to only few that they have picked from the state government. That means the federal has not done anything. Transparency is zero. Then if we have in the open announced that subsidy is removed, that means the food I've been giving you before, I've removed it, I won't give you again. And you did not give me alternative, or you say I've made the arrangement alternative, you did not show me where I can have it. That means you have not done any transparency in Nigeria as at now. I believe I will score them less than 30. I will score them less than 30 because every Nigerian should be able to have some basic information. It is with information that you will be able to know what will come up next. As it is now, as a citizen of Nigeria, and even as a staff of the federal government, as a lecturer, there are a lot of things that I don't know. And I look out for information everywhere. What of those that cannot look out for information like I do? How will they know? I remember that even when we were in primary school, secondary school, those governments then, even after announcing, they do some handbills. You see them even making it available
jingles
to children,
on the radio and TV.
Yes, take it to your parents. This is what is happening. Do you know that even now, when they are doing immunization, people don't know? Simple immunization that is supposed to be primary health care. Federal government will have immunization. They will not announce it properly. People will not know. But suddenly you will see one or two, what do I call them, nurses, or you see them within the streets trying to do immunization. But you are not aware. For that reason, nobody will be around for such immunization.
And there's so much suspicion.
Yes.
There'll be so much suspicion. At the end of the day, it's all wasted because Nigerians are suspicious of such things.
Everything will just waste like that. So we are wasting a lot of resources because of information problems.
So let's focus now on the topic for today. The protest is on.
Yes.
Eventually, we are faced with the reality of the protest. But they've been called by the vice president, by ministers, by governors to be patient with the president because he has wheeled out all his fiscal plans or all the plans he has. There's even one housing project. The president announced plans to complete 100,000 housing units over the next 3 years as part of the Renewed Hope City and Estate Initiative, and on and on. So the children on the streets have been told to calm down and dialogue with the president, dialogue with his government, and be patient. Stay off the streets and be patient. Take a look at what the president has said, at least what all the things he wheeled out when he gave the speech on the 4th, on Sunday. And we want your take. Yeah. Let us begin to break it down.
For every policy.
Your reaction to the fact that
we should be patient.
That Nigerians are asked to calm down, be patient, and let us see how far the president will execute these policies.
Yeah, I think you see the same thing we've been discussing. To be patient, that means now you have seen. Let's see what happens. But how long are we going to stay? How long will there? Well, how long are we?
You didn't give
a
time frame. Yeah, that's another thing.
So if you didn't give how long you will stay, that means the plan you have does not have time frame. If you have a time frame, it's okay. Like last time we had a discussion, I said, if the government come up with a program, it's okay, between now and so period, this is what we want to do, and this is how it's going to affect you. Then we have a longer one that may take 1 year. We have a longer. Let me give an instance. You made mention of housing scheme. Who will be the beneficiaries and how are they going to benefit from it? As at now, we are supposed to know. Gradually, they are supposed to disseminate information. We are having 1,000 housing units. Likely, this is the amount we are going to sell it. This is how you are going to apply for it. This is how you can get it. Everybody will know so that we will start preparing ourselves. At least there is hope. You start preparing for it. Then for president to say, give us time. Everybody will keep saying that. Give us time is an open statement. Give us time, there is time. We know that for every policy, if well implemented and taken to the letter, it will give positive results. But implementation is a problem in Nigeria. So when you say give us time, what then are you doing to make sure that those plans you have will materialize? What the challenges we have, challenges of corruption, challenges of data issues, how are you tackling it? Then the immediate problem we are having that is affecting us, issue of food. how fast are we going to do it? Assuming the president just came out and said, okay, we have removed the duties on food. If you have access to bring in food, let's get food available. At least let us eat. The government has ordered for 1 million bags of rice. These 1 million bags of rice will likely arrive next week, and we target to distribute it within 1 month. By the time you are giving date, you are giving plan, giving time to it, people will say, okay, let's hold on for that. But as at now, if you say hold on, that just be patient. We were patient during Jonathan era, patient during Buhari 8 years. Then patience is still, we are going to continue to be patient. I don't think there will be an end to it. The major thing is they should fast track those programs and plans they have should be fast tracked so that the benefit will start coming to the people. The population of Nigeria is large. He actually mentioned that the housing scheme is not just to provide house, but to provide employment. The reason he mentioned that is that by the time they are building homes, the carpenters will come there to work, bricklayers will come there to work, food sellers will come there to sell. Within that period, a lot of people will be employed. It should be analyzed that way too, so that we understand it. Then he can also say, as they are preparing the house, government is making available payments for those ones that want to access it. You can start applying for it. Let's know, even as they are building, they can allocate. While you are building, give us within 2 years, 3 years to finish it. Then even the fund you are bringing, we have fund, but to assure us that this is going to be for you. You know the problem we normally have. By the time they finish building, allocation will become an issue. Within a short time, it's fully allocated. If you check, it's a middle class and low class housing unit, but it's occupied and bought over by the rich. Those are the problems we have. That is the issue of transparency, the problem of transparency we are having in Nigeria. If something like that is coming up and is properly handled, the poor will see how to benefit from it. I think I had, I don't know whether it's not verified, that the Minister for Education said there is plan for government to be paying graduates that are yet to get job certain amount of money. He just mentioned it. How much? Certain amount of money can be 1,000 per month. It can be 20,000 per month. So by the time you made mention of something like that, you'll be thinking that you have pacified the people. But eventually they will say, nah, like that, and they talk on before. It may not come to pass. So without putting...
Because there's no commitment.
No figure, nothing, no period, you just mention like that. You can't just come on air to just talk to people like that. Nigerians, we reason. We reason, we analyze speeches, we analyze policies, we analyze activities to see how to benefit. As it is, I think our government should do more. It should do more in information. I keep on repeating, they should do more information. And thank God that it has been streamlined now, that our local government will function better now. Everything they should drive it to the local government. Let those people that know the grassroots, let them handle it. And for anything federal government want to do, they should make it very open. Federal government, before we have federal road, state road, and the feeder roads. You have that is trunk A, trunk B, and trunk C road. Then the federal road, when it's bad, we say federal government has not done it. Correct. For state government road, if it's bad, it's okay. State government is supposed to handle this. Then the road to my father's farm, all those ones, we call the local government. Please bring a caterpillar, come and help us bulldoze this so that we can go to farm. In that case, you cannot call federal government. But now, we are calling federal government. If you want to go to farm and your farm road is not cleared, you say, well,
Felix, this statement you just made actually just prompted something right now in me.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I think we're probably hard on the presidency, but maybe it's time to ask ourselves, are we probably just too hard on the federal government? Are we being too hard on them? Now, reason for me saying this is we need not just hold the federal government on the hook of accountability and transparency and tend to barface the responsibility of the state governors. Okay. Now, the president made a very valid point. I consider it very valid. He spoke about reduction of debt servicing from our revenue from 97% to 68% in the last 13 months, which has led to state, local government receiving the highest allocations ever in our country's history from the Federation account. But every day, every month end, we see governors coming out to wail, oh, we lack the funds. We are not getting enough. We are not seeing it at all, and in some cases, it's not working right now. In fact, we are literally begging. We're using our own salary. We are sweating to really get things and work. But with this statement, he said they are getting more than enough.
And he also mentioned that you should hold your state governors accountable.
So why should we, for instance, in Ondo has been peaceful, by the way, Ondo has been very peaceful. For instance, why do we in Ondo State, for example, will start shouting at the president and leave the governor? And I don't know, is there really an intelligence behind this, or are we just really pounding on the wrong door?
Disinformation.
It's information problems. We don't have information. I think I just mentioned about what local government is supposed to do, what the state government is supposed to do. How many of us know? We don't know. If you need anything, you want to go to the center. The thing is, the way it's being handled from the center, that is what is causing the problem. If we are running a decentralized system, then the government should say, okay, these are the lines of activities for the government. This is the one the state is supposed to handle. Then if people don't understand it, the president should come and give briefing. Even their aides, the president aides should also do a lot of briefing. Then let's look at our legislators. We have bicameral, the
Senators,
House of Rep and
yes.
They go there to discuss, and they are supposed to be our representatives. How many of them come back to tell us what they discussed there? They don't come to tell us. We are supposed to be having town hall meeting every time. If we have a cluster of 3 local government areas, we send somebody to represent us. The person should come back at least once in a month to meet with us. Okay, what do you want us to tell them there? So that government will know what they are going to channel to. Do you know that why they went there is what government is going to channel from the center that can benefit the people?
It's more like we see them once in 4 years.
Yes. And even when they get there, they won't go to the village so that they won't kill them again, because they've now arrived. So the major problem is that once they are there, we feel that there is a big cake they want to go and share there. We expect them to bring the cake to us. But they are giving them a lot of allocations. The allocations they are giving them is supposed to be tied to projects. And these projects are supposed to be communicated to the local people. That we have released 200 million to the rep member representing your local government, and we expect him to do some project, because before they release such amount of money to them, they tell the House of Rep members to list the projects that they want to attract to the people. That is why some House Rep members have more than others. Those ones that did not list enough, they have smaller amounts. You can hear that when sometimes they discuss that after all, they gave some people some amount, they did not give us up to that. It is what you present. So by the time they lobby and they present what they are going to do for the people, you see them collecting the money. But the people they want to do it for don't know what they collect the money for.
So the protest is on. What should be the next line of action from the president?
I think the president has addressed. That is not enough. Nobody's expecting the president to be addressing the nation every day. But his media aides should do more. His media aides should analyze, explain what the president has said, and also give us what they have planned to help. Because to me, I feel we've actually communicated, the masses they've communicated, they've made people know their mind, not only to the president, but the entire world. The international community are aware now that there is too much pressure that the people cannot bear again. So I think somehow they'll be asking the president what is happening, to the extent that I think they arrested some people that fly another country's flag. I think Russia also.
Russia's flag.
And that has a lot of implication. When people start calling other economists to come and help us, if there is going to be call, it should be president that will call, not individuals calling to come and take over to the extent of raising their flag. That is a call for anarchy. It's a different thing entirely. So they should do more. Again, protesters should know that whatever we destroy, we will still need our resources to replace it. So you can't be saying you are hungry You carry the little food you have, you burn it. If you burn it, your hunger will kill you. So the best option is we should refrain from that. And the security men should also do more. The security men should also, they should be more friendly, though they should be more friendly, they should follow up. I think I saw one terrifying move in one time that armored personnel carrier, something like that protesters climbed on it, and they were kind of playing with that. In fact, that was the height of level of irresponsibility. Something like that, the protester is not supposed to near it. They're supposed to leave it because it's for their good. You know, for them to climb on it and start driving around, that presents danger. People can die there, anything can happen. So when you are going out for protest, you want to communicate. Then communicate properly, then leave. I expect that the protest should be going down gradually. The intention of the people is made known to the president. He has told us that he has heard that a lot of things are on. He need to tell us more how we leave this problem. Our major challenge, a big challenge, is that price of fuel is so high and there is no hope. He should be telling us when we will start having local production of crude, of fuel, so that we at least will have traction. He should tell us how he's going to support other activities. Local government and state government should tell us what they are having in mind too. It's not only the president. If every state governor think of coming up with modular refinery and mandate, when they meet, all governors meet, they mandate the federal government to make sure that state government, we are having our refinery, we are going to get crude. Instead of selling the crude to others and giving us cash, give us crude, let us process. It will help us. Processing it is not only diesel and fuel they will get from there. There are a lot of products and a lot of people will be employed. It will reduce unemployment. Then even when we are doing infrastructural projects, we know that infrastructural projects is going to reduce unemployment. It will reduce more if we don't give it to expatriates. Why not? Let's try to engage our locals. If they didn't do well, we sanction them. Give projects to a road in my village. Give it to somebody from around my area there. Tell the villager that I've given this project to Mr. Felix. He's supposed to do it. It's a 10-kilometer road. This is the thickness of what he told us he's going to do. This is how he's going to handle it. He's going to give us this gutter and this gutter. Please follow him up. When he finishes up, call me. Let me come and commission. That person will never fail. Instead of him to fail, he will not fail in his village. He won't fail in his environment. But where the money is already given to somebody else, they remove 50 or 80% of it. You expect the person to bring 20%, and you say you are awarding projects. At the end, nobody will benefit from it. It's sad, you know.
Yes, we want to thank our guest for honoring our invite once again on the show this morning. I would have asked him to say a word or two to the Nigerian youth, but time is never our friend, especially when we have so much to talk about. We appreciate you for being on the show this morning.
Nonetheless, you have a great day. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.
I am Anire Binitie. Stay safe. Bye for now.